I now want to bring in Republican strategist Alex Zdan, who ran for U.S. Senate in New Jersey this year, and Democratic strategist Theron Bond, who was a candidate for Memphis City Council. Good morning to both of you. Alex, let me just start with you here. What's the significance of Republicans having the power in three branches of government?
Look, a new day is dawning in Washington, D.C. This trifecta of the presidency, the House, and the Senate, which both parties covet, it's a vote of confidence from the American people to the Republican Party to say, we want you guys to come in there, take care of business, secure the border, assure a prosperous economy, and lead the nation with peace through strength in foreign affairs. I think that President Trump, President-elect Trump now, maybe he should drive his garbage truck that he used in that photo op earlier this year to the Capitol, to Washington, D.C., because when this Republican majority takes office in January, it's take out the trash day for the system and for the establishment. That's what the voters want the Republicans to do.
Theron, just looking forward, do Democrats have any chance at passing anything on their agenda unless it has bipartisan support?
I'm going to say no. The one thing that Republicans do well is when they have the power and the leverage, they use it, and they use it to usually rush through things that they know might be unpopular with people who didn't vote for them. And that's still a significant number of the American people. Unfortunately, that's a lesson that Democrats haven't learned yet, is that when we have the power, use it to get things done. And so what we're going to see is not a 360, but a 180. We're going to see things totally change, and it's going to be big change. Big change is unnerving, and I don't know how it's going to fare for people that don't look and sound like MAGA in America right now.
Alex, Tom Dempsey was just kind of laying out, moving forward, what's happening in the House. Republicans keep the House majority. We woke up to that news this morning. But now at least two Republicans in the House being nominated for President-elect Trump's cabinet. You've got Stefanik, you've got Waltz. So what does that mean with the party's margins already so slim at the moment? Does that worry you at all?
Well, look, you obviously want as big a majority as you can possibly have. Anyone can tell you that. I think that we've got more than a dozen races that are still called. Speaker Johnson knows his caucus. He knows what's going on in the districts. So I would imagine that he's confident that Republicans will pick up quite a few more seats out of that more than one dozen races that are still outstanding. A majority is a majority, and I think that Mike Johnson's going to be in a strong position when Congress takes office in January.
Theron, I wanted to play a bit of sound because Republican Gabe Evans, who just flipped his Colorado House district, recently told me this on Morning in America. Take a quick listen.
So when I'm out knocking on doors and I ask folks, top of mind, what's the number one issue that you're concerned about right now? I would say probably 90% of folks mention the border and the associated, when we know that not all migrants are committing crimes, but the associated crimes that come with it. And so folks see this, they know that there's a problem, and they're ready for a change, and that includes a very significant percentage of the Hispanic community.
Yeah, so Theron, what's the main takeaway for Democrats? What's the main lesson that you walk away with, especially as it pertains to immigration, which is one of the key pillars that got Trump elected?
I think what Democrats need to do is message better, even though immigration is not the end-all, be-all for bringing criminals over here and causing crime domestically, because we know there are a significant number of domestic crimes that happen irregardless of what's happening at the border. What Democrats need to do is message better. If that's what the American people are wanting to hear, then they need to develop a message and a strategy to accommodate that, despite how significant it may be in policy that's laid out once an administration goes in. But that's what they would have needed to do better. President-elect Trump and his team did that. They said that's the message they're going to run with, and it ran them all the way back to the White House.
So really quickly, just to follow up here. So because, they've had two very different visions of the border, but because Trump won it so handily, do you think you almost see messaging align from Democrats and Republicans moving forward on the border, if that's what it's going to take to win?
I don't think so. I think Democrats just have to do it differently. They have to be able to hear the issues and talk to the people, talk to them about what matters most, and talk to them and meet them where they are. And that's not something they did well this cycle.
Theron Bond, Alex Zdan, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.